Hello there. It's me, Stephen Thomas, with Reports on Housing. I am coming live to you on Facebook and YouTube. So just wanted to say hello to everybody. Let's see, got to get this thing loaded and going. I didn't know if I was going to make it today. Our internet was down for over an hour, and they said it was going to be down till 5 o'clock, but it is up. So that's the good news. I don't know how reliable it's going to be during this, if it's going to be a nice visible broadcast, but we will see. We'll do our best. These are the trials and tribulations that you deal with in these modern times with all this technology. Oh, there we go. There we are. I have to get everything all set up. Sorry about that. Let's see. Oh, but I do have somebody that can come over here and introduce themselves. Hello there, mister. All right. There we go. Let's see. Okay. Who is this?
I'm Mason.
Yes, you're Mason. What happened yesterday?
It was our last day of school, and I had so much fun at school.
Are you kidding me? You had your last day of school?
Yeah.
That's incredible. That's incredible. So summer began, right?
Yeah.
Are you bored already? I love being a kid and having your whole entire summer. Doesn't it seem like you have a lot of time off right now? I remember that. Now that I'm older, it goes by like this. Oh, somebody said they can't hear me. Success, we see you. Robert, can you hear me? Fran says she cannot hear me. No sound. That's not good. Let's see what the story is. Let's see. Of course, this would be one more thing that we have to deal with. Setup. Let's see. Settings. Cancel. Hang on.
Maybe turn off your...
No, I don't know what it is, Mason.
Wait,
No, that's fine. It's fine. It's fine, bud. That part's fine.
Maybe turn it off and turn it back on.
Hold on, bud. Thank you. That's not a help. Let's see. Graphics. It says I don't have sound, so hang on just a second. Success, we see you, can't hear you, no sound. I can hear you. Some people hear us. Okay. No, you're live and sound is good. Okay, good. If you're having a problem, reboot or get out of Facebook and get back in so they can hear us. So anyways, thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right. How about you?
What?
What happened yesterday?
Oh, last day of school.
Last day of school. That's good. So this is the first day of summer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you bored yet?
No.
Does it seem like you have a whole...
Well, since it's the first day of summer, then I have to clean all my school stuff out, and then I have to do other stuff that I usually do daily. So it's busy, actually.
Oh, good. Excellent. Well, that's great. Summer's here. Summer's fun. All right. Thank you so much for being here, Alana Joe. These are my two kids that are here locally. Some people are actually picking up our little one from preschool. So that's a lot of fun. He'll be joining us shortly. So anyways, I wanted to go ahead and begin, get this party started. I'm glad you can hear me. Let's go ahead and get going. There we go. So let's see. So first, I'd like to thank our sponsor, Kevin Buddy. He's at Monarch Coast Financial, deals with everything from, of course, there's more than one kind of borrower and more than one kind of loan. And he deals with everything from full documentation loans to alternative documentation, investor financing, and even private money loans. So he knows what he's doing and got a loan to suit yours or your client's needs. He has loads of experience, has been doing this since 1976. He's my friend and your friend at Monarch Coast Financial, Kevin Buddy, and let him help you 949-422-2075. That's 949-422-2075. Thank you so much, Kevin, for your continued sponsorship. And our company's Reports on Housing. It's your local real estate snapshot. And it's all about giving you actionable data and the verbiage to explain what's going on in the marketplace so people can actually make sound decisions, not just Google their answers, because they'll get misled by what a lot of these different websites and trolls and everybody else out there, what they're trying to sell you a not a great bill of goods when there's really good, solid data that you can rely on instead. And I like what Logan Motoshami says. He says, be the detective, not the troll. I think that if you have a lot of statistics and data and charts and everything else that you rely upon, you really can get a gauge for exactly where we're going, and you do not feel like you're operating in the dark. And our reports, we don't focus that much on closed sales data because that's a reflection of the past. I like to talk about what's going on right now, the active listing inventory, the available number of homes, that's the supply to show your buyers today. And then we demand, that's a snapshot of the last 30 days worth of new escrows. And then from that, we're able to get you the speed of the market. What's the market time? If you place your home on the market, when are you going to open up escrow? That is exactly what you need to know if you're a buyer or a seller and what's going on. And we do have some updates as to how things are evolving right now. It's about setting expectations of everybody, and it's expectations based upon facts and data, not hearsay and what people think or want to have happen in the marketplace. And we have reports that dot all over Southern California in 5 different counties. LA and Orange County and San Diego got this week. It's called Is Housing Affordable? And when I put this out to the masses, we didn't get a lot of people that subscribed. They subscribed like crazy when we were talking about is this going to be a crash, that type of thing. But this is really important for people to understand what's happening with affordability. And it's important to get this in front of buyers as well as sellers to let them understand what's going to happen in the marketplace in the future, as well as what's going on right now as a buyer. If you wait, what happens? So that's what that report goes over. Riverside and San Bernardino will get this report this coming up Monday. And so go to reportsonhousing.com, click on subscribe, and we'll send you an email with all of with the latest report, as well as a bunch of links at the bottom so that you can print it out, copy, cut, edit, paste, that type of thing. Send it to your sphere of influence and past clients and neighbors and friends. And there's Excel spreadsheets and excerpts for everything public facing on the internet. And then there's a lot of charts. We also have infographics and social media pieces all embedded within those links. Like I said, it comes out every 2 weeks. It's $15 per month or $150 per year. And you get a month free if you utilize the coupon code AFFORDABLE, because that's what we're talking about is affordability. So affordable is the coupon code because these reports are definitely affordable and will help you articulate what's going on in the marketplace. And so let's get right into it. Cracks in home affordability. And really, I want to talk about home values at first and what's happened with home values. And pretty much it's been like a rocket ship straight up. And that has made me second guess, oh gosh, where are we headed? People, it's not a balloon or anything like that. It's not a bubble. It's not going to be a crash that's going to come, but it's not something that I like to see as an economist. It's way too hot and prices are going up way too fast right now. And this kind of shows you what's going on in the United States. This is done by Freddie Mac. And you could see starting in the second half of 2020 through today, we're having a bit of an issue of home values surging at too high of a percentage rate. And you're going to see this in the Case-Shiller CoreLogic index that's going to be coming out. And as they start doing readings of, because they're just right now to March, when they start showing April and May readings, I'm afraid that these are going to start to show 15, 16% year over year gains. And if you look at what's happened in California, we've had the strongest price growth ever recorded. And this is California Association of Realtors put this out. And you can see on the right-hand side, we haven't really seen a spike like that. And it is, in my opinion, it's not the healthiest of spikes because we don't like to see home values surging like they are today. I know it's great to be a homeowner. However, it's not good for the long-term viability and health for the housing market, A, and B, it starts to price people out of housing. Nationally, you could probably stomach it a little bit more because the median sales prices are a lot lower. But here in California, it is starting to get to levels where it's very, very hard to stay. And that's why so many people leave when affordability becomes an issue, not only in housing, but with everything else, with the whole, with everything across the board. And why are we having the home values surge? And really, it's this domino effect, and it's different economic forces have all created the issue that we have today. And number one, these unnatural economic forces, as I like to call them, number one is COVID-19. COVID-19 substantially limited supply. And if we did not have COVID-19, we would not have the issue that we have today because it really rocked supply last year. It prevented a number of homes from coming on the market. We went over that last week, but it really prevented a lot of homes net for the whole entire year that did not come on the market and have not come on the market ever since. So there was a missing piece of inventory, and that put us behind the 8 ball even to start off this year in 2021. And then the other economic forces, because of COVID-19, the 10-year treasury and long-term and people that wanted to stick their money in long-term assets increased substantially. And as a result, we got ultra low record rates. And we had 17 records, all-time record lows. And the 17th was at the beginning of this year at 2.65%. So with interest rates continuing to go down lower and lower and lower, it was just creating more demand behind the scenes. And we would not have had that had we not had COVID-19. So we also have a very strong first-time home buyer demographic patch. The number of 32-year-olds that are purchasing right now, it started to be elevated last year, and it continues this year, and we will be dealing with this for the next several years, where there are more first-time home buyers. And a matter of fact, California Association of Realtors just showed that we have the strongest number of first-time home buyers in the past 10 years. It would be even stronger if we had more homes that are available. So, but it is still the strongest reading for first-time home buyers in a decade. So that is something that has evolved more recently. And inventory has dropped to low levels that we have never seen before since I started doing all the numbers. And people out there have said that they have never seen any market like this. I've been doing this for 3 decades. I've never seen the inventory respond like it is today. And homeowners are simply not selling now. It was COVID-19 that was preventing them, but now we have where will I go? So that's adding to the problem of the limited supply is where will I go? And then no rush. My home value is climbing. So you know what? I'm just going to sit tight. It's no big deal. And even though if they're moving up, it is a big deal. And you can show them that as a real estate agent. But and something else that is a factor that's limiting the number of homeowners that are selling is the fact that I'm good. My rate is in the 2s. I'm just going to stay put. So you have a combination of all of this, and it's really limiting the amount of supply. And I've been tracking this for a very long time, and from about 2011 all the way through 2019, the same number of homes came on the market, give or take plus or minus 5%, which was within reason. And then last year when COVID-19 hit, it really damaged the number of homes that were coming on the market, and it continues to this day. Oops, I don't know why that says, okay. And more unnatural economic forces as a result of the fact that we have very limited supply and very low interest rates, demand is surging a bit more than it normally does compared to averages that are out there. And demand is that the last 30 days worth of escrow activity. And also it's been like an auction-like atmosphere out there. We're not used to seeing this auction-like atmosphere where the asking price is more like the reserve bid, the low price that starts off the bidding. And this is also from the California Association of Realtors. Over 2/3 of homes sold with above asking price. 68.2% of all home sales in California for the month of April sold above the asking price. This was below, it was 63% for the month of March. Now it's 68% from April. It'll be interesting to see what happens in May, because you could see this trend line is not our friend in this case, because we don't want to see so many homes selling above asking price. That means that the home values are soaring like they are today. So also, as a result of everything, we have unhealthy price growth. And when you have unhealthy price growth, I'm talking about price growth where it's going up, where you see somebody that is outbidding everybody else by $100,000 over asking price. We're seeing prices absolutely surge. It's not sustainable. It's not healthy. And we'd like to see this, of course, change. And as far as affordability is concerned, let me talk a little bit about, gone into the various counties. I've just finished Los Angeles, Orange County, and San Diego. So Riverside and San Bernardino, apologize, don't have that yet, but it's coming in the report this Monday and Tuesday. It's something that I'm working on right now. And if you see this is Los Angeles County affordability over time. So what I take, it's not just about the price of homes, because everybody focuses on the price of homes, because get this, in 1980, the median income was $18,000. So factor that in, and then look at today, we've got a median income of $76,000. Yes, the median detached sales price was $108,000 for all of Los Angeles County. And today it's $707,000. So you have to also look at the interest rates. The average 30-year rate for 1980 was 13.75%. So you could see the payment as a percentage of income in 1980 was 69%. In 1990, it was 57%. And then in the year 2000, it was 36%. This was, of course, after the recession of the 1990s. You were looking at a 36% of the payment was payment as a percentage of income was 36%. Sorry, a little tongue-tied. But look at the interest rate. The interest rate then was 8%, and the median detached home was $216,000. Incomes were $42,000. So you can see that interest rates have been dropping over time, and the median detached sales price has been increasing, but so has the median income. Because we went into right before the Great Recession in 2007, which is what everybody likes to compare today to the Great Recession, thinking that a big giant downturn is inevitable. If you look at this, 6.34%, the median detached home was $589,000, the median income was $53,000, and the payment as a percentage of income was 66%. It dropped to 27% in 2012. The big reason for that, we had interest rates, average interest rate 3.66%. And then you flash forward to today, and you're now at 40% payment as percentage of income. It's not at a rate that I am, that it's a red flag for me, but it is deteriorating. In 2012, it was 27%. Last year was 38%, and now it's 40%. And if you look for Orange County, you could see it was at 37% last year. It's at 44% this year is the payment as percentage of income. The higher that is, the more of your monthly income is going towards servicing your own debt, your payment for your house. And in San Diego County, it was at 34% last year, 38% this year. So I'm going to drill into Orange County a little bit, because they are a little more susceptible to changes in interest rates, because they're already at 44% today. Now, if and interest rates will rise down the road, if they get to about 3.5% by the end of the year, which is what a lot of people are prognosticating, myself included, we're going to be looking at a a payment as percentage of income of 47%. So you go from 44% to 47%. Now, let's say next year we get interest rates that float up towards 4%, which is not a bad rate at all. Because remember, we were at 5% back in at the end of 2018. But at 4%, we're looking at the payment as percentage of income of 50%. Now, that actually, I would turn that to red. I just didn't hear, but I would turn that to red. And that is where, at that point, if we had interest rates that rose all the way up to 4% and we had a median detached sales price of $1.1 million, remember, that's where it was as of the month of April. And if it continues to go up, we might be looking at 1,150,000 or 1,200,000. Now payment as percentage of income continues to go up. And that is an issue. That's why I want to see that appreciation slows at this point, because it's going to become a problem down the road as we get higher interest rates. And that's really what the problem is with affordability. It's our mortgage rate sensitivity. And if you don't believe me, here's a little snapshot of where we have been in time. Back in the year 1990, right around when I got into real estate, interest rates were at 10%. Could we tolerate a 10% interest rate today? Not at all. And then in the year 2000, we had interest rates at 8%. There's no way we could tolerate an interest rate at 8% too. I'm not even going to show you what the math looks like, but there's no way that we could. Then at 6.35%, just prior to the Great Recession, we were at 6.35%. Nope, can't tolerate 6.35%. At the end of 2018, we realized that 5% was too high. We were only there for a moment. We didn't even quite hit 5%, and then it started to fall. But if we would have stayed at 5% for a sustainable amount of time, we would have probably seen a continued accumulation of properties on the market. And I believe that we would have seen a little bit of prices coming down. And I'm not talking a severe buyer's market or any kind of bubble or anything like that. Just prices start to come down. And that's really what's going on here, is we have this mortgage rate sensitivity where now we can't tolerate higher rates. And now my argument, based upon everything that I just showed you, is it's no longer 5%. It's now 4%. 4% is that new threshold that if we got to that level, that we would start to see, and if we stayed at 4%, we'd start to see prices that would come down. And I'm not talking a bubble. I'm not talking that if it goes all the way up 1%, that will come down 10%. I don't know exactly how much it's going to come down yet. We're going to have to see as to where we are in how much values go up by then, and where interest rates settle and where they stay for the long haul. And then if we continue to surge upward in price at this skyrocketing pace that we are today, the mortgage rate sensitivity will even lower further. It means that we're right now getting very, very used to interest rates right about 3%. That means that we can't tolerate an interest rate at 3.75%, where everything would get a little shaky. And if it continued to surge all the way through, let's say, spring of next year, and we had values that went up, continued to go up at the pace that they are today, we would be looking at an interest rate of 3.5% that would really slow things down. So the longer we go up at the current pace that we are right now, which is red hot and skyrocketing upwards, and the longer that we stay also at these low interest rates, the more susceptible we are to being sensitive to lower and lower interest rates. So that is really the affordability that I wanted to get into, but I also wanted to go over kind of the evolution of housing over like the last week. And it's actually kind of good news. Because remember, it's the supply and demand thing. Right now, we have very, very little supply, a lot of demand. So we have values that are going up. And so if we look at the Southern California housing supply, last week, we were right here on May 27th, 16,739. We were up 1% in a 2-week period, or an extra 183 homes. Last year, we had 85% more homes than where we are today. That's a lot more. And even last year was subdued compared to the 5-year average. It was rocked by COVID because there weren't a lot of homes coming on the market. And as a matter of fact, we had already peaked 2 weeks prior. So the 5-year average is close to 40,000 homes. Keep that in mind. We have 16,700 homes, and the 5-year average is 40,000, which is more than double where we are today. Today, actually today, when we crunch the numbers, it's at 17,329. It's up 4% in 1 week, an extra 534 homes. So that's and since April 1st, we've actually gone up 1,934 homes. So that is a good trend. And this kind of a trend is our friend. And I'm excited about it. I'm jazzed about more homes coming on the market because that's actually good news, because that will decelerate our market a little bit so the market time can start to rise, and we won't go at quite the same pace that we were prior. And if it continues to evolve and this trend continues to occur. Now let's look at demand. SoCal demand, red hot, right? It's like the red hot fire chili. And interest rates are to blame for how hot demand is right now. It's interest rates. Yesterday they came out. This is the primary mortgage market survey that goes back 5 years, and it's just under 3%, so 2.99%. And so it's really sticky. It's right at that 3% level, and it's not doing much. And the 10-year treasury over like the last many weeks also has not really done much either. It stayed within the channel. And remember, what happens with the 10-year bonds is kind of what happens with the 30-year mortgages, and they haven't really been changing for weeks now. So let's talk about Southern California demand. That's a snapshot of the last 30 days worth of escrow activity. And last week, we were just under 20,000, 19,889. It was actually up 1%, or plus 134 escrows. And last year, 22% less than where we are today. And it was coming out of the doldrums of the beginning of the pandemic, and was starting to surge in May. And now we're getting to June, and it's not going to be long before we get to July. And year over year, we're actually going to have higher values last year than this year. And that's all because summer of 2020 was really the spring that we never had because of the pandemic. So we can't compare this year over last year, but we can look at the 5-year average, 18,291, and which is 8% less than where we are as of last week. And then today we're at 19,565, which is down 2%. So we have escrow activity coming down, partly due to the fact that fewer and fewer homes are coming on the market right now compared to the 5-year average. We're off considerably for all of Southern California, and we went over that last week. And then at the same time, we have inventory rising. So that's actually good for the health of the market, because that means it's going to slow things down just a bit, and you'll see it in the numbers. How fast is the market today? Well, last week, we were at 25 days. There was no change from the 2 weeks prior. So that means for a month straight, it's been at 25 days. And then last year at the same time, it was at 60 days. The 5-year average is 66 days. So we're beating last year we were even beating the 5-year average because of how low the inventory was last year. And then today we're at 27 days. So you can see that we've gone from 25 days to 27 days. Anything below 40 is still an insane market, but we're going the right direction. In 1 week, we added 2 days. So hopefully this trend continues. Next week, we'll add another couple days. This could have something to do with the fact that this was a holiday weekend that we just had, and that could be in the numbers. We'll have to see how it plays out this coming up week. But I'm excited nonetheless, because this is the right trend that I would like to see. And you're saying, what's happening? Why all of a sudden is the inventory climbing and demand starting to fall? And it's because of this fact. I just introduced my kids. That was intentional this time, to talk to them about summer, because summer is here. Once the kids get out of school, it's summertime. As a matter of fact, there was graduations going on yesterday. There's college graduations, university graduations and high school graduations, and people are getting out at different times. So there's a lot of distractions with end of the year stuff, and we're going on vacations, and we've got things planned. We're going to be going to the beach. We'll be going to the pool. There's a lot more distractions once the kids are here. And what that means is that we're going to see demand come down a little bit. Demand drops slightly because of that. So because demand drops slightly, In turn, we see inventory rise just because we're going to place about the same number of homes, even though it's muted on the market. But with demand dropping slightly, we start to see that elevation in supply too, which means that at the same time, the expected market time starts to increase as the summer months come on. So we're actually going to go from our lows that we're at. We were holding tight at 25 days. Now we're at 27, and hopefully by next week we can get to 29 or 30-day expected market time. That means we're headed in the right direction where things will get better and it won't be quite as hot or insane out there. So if you want a copy of this housing debrief, you have to be a subscriber. Go ahead and hit me in the comments, and I'll go ahead and provide you a copy. You can also email us at the office. And go to reportsonhousing.com, click on subscribe, and it's $15 per month or $150 per year. You get a month free if you utilize the coupon code AFFORDABLE. And I'd like to thank Kevin Buddy from Monarch Coast Financial. He deals with everything from full doc to private money loans and everything in between. Loads and loads of experience. Has been doing this since 1976. It's my buddy, your buddy, Kevin Buddy at 949-422-2075. And that's all I have for you today. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. You know what? Go ahead and hit me up in the comment section. I'll be sure to answer it. But please have a fun weekend. Enjoy it. Enjoy this beautiful weather that we have. And I think in about another 10 days, it looks like we're going to get a change in COVID protocol here in California, which is just going to open things up further, and it's going to create even more economic opportunities, and we're going to start to see the economy surge the second half of the year. So stay tuned for all that. Have a fantastic weekend. We will see you on the other side. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And